Nigerian labor, Nigeria content and materials first.
If you say Nigeria first and it is just us down here that, are pushing that agenda, it's going to be a big struggle.
Do you think Nigerian firms, Nigerian organizations should start looking at getting their staff involved in this market or buying to keep it for their staff?
Within this side, let's also learn citizen diplomacy. See something. This is Suk business landscape.
Good morning, Your Excellencies. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Friday edition of your regular program, Suk Business Landscape. It's always a pleasure to be here, knowing fully well that you are on that other side and part of this production. Thank you very much for being with us from Monday till the end of the work day. That's for those that work for the work days. Some of us work all through. So hey, thank you very much. Today being Friday, we will talk about things that concern us. Business-wise, yes. Infrastructure-wise, yes. But hey, we're starting on it. It's not a sad note, but it's taking responsibility for where we should be and things that we are not living up to. Infrastructure vandalism. It has become something that we have to stand up to and tackle as a people. Take responsibility for it. We'll talk about this because it's beginning to hurt us and hurt us bad. We also look at what's happening with Trump. He never ceases to leave the news. Trump is in the news. Then the NYSC, for those wondering, that's the Nigerian National Youth Service Corps, is a beautiful program that unites the nation and gets workforces into the economy. We'll get to talk about that. What's happening there? The Bank of Industry is waking up and saying, hey, we've neglected this sector for a while. We are having input here. Remember, it's all about business. It's all about development. How is the economy growing? Ours, yours. And here we discuss matters that push us up there. My name is Chooks, John Rogers Chooks, and on this table that I have decided to be alive, I'm with the people you always want to get into a fight with because they have your back. Please join me as I welcome, right from my left, the fair one himself, Oyindamola. Good morning.
Good morning to you, Chooks. Hello, Lumide. Good morning to you. I'm glad it's Friday, but those who want to get a fight with, if you go get a fight with someone thinking I got your back, I'm going to run away. I just
know that you will be there.
Great.
We run faster, so we will leave you to handle the issue.
Great. It's nice to be in the face again.
You're welcome. Then the fair one himself, the Otumba that have decided to go by the way of the gods. Good morning, Olumide.
Good morning, Chooks, John Rogers. Good morning, Oyindamola. Let me reiterate what Priya said. I'm a law-abiding person. Fighting in public is a crime, so I will not get in a fight with anyone.
Okay. Now, for those that have decided to deny me, don't worry. We all have your backs. It's SBL. We're going a very short break, and when we return, we'll start our first story, and we will talk. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. It's still SBL, and we have one more introduction to make. That is one person that he's not just getting into a fight with us, he is in the thick of it. Always present when we call and always having our back. Please join me as I welcome all the way from the United States of America. He has decided to be here today and forgo his sleep. Ameen, Ameen, good morning on this side and welcome to SBL.
Good morning. I'm so happy to be here.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's our pleasure. Now, let's tell you this. Well, I won't say for free, but hey, it hurts our heart. Real infrastructure vandalism. That is where we are going to right now. Now, the Nigerian Railway Corporation, NRC, they have expressed concern over the growing vandalism of critical signaling equipment along the Lagos-Ibadan standard gauge corridor, particularly between Agege and Agbado stations. In a statement issued by its Chief Public Relations Officer, Callistus Oyimadu, the corporation condemned the persistent attacks on railway infrastructure, warning that such acts pose serious safety and operational risk. The warning follows a recent report by the Nigeria Safety Investigation Bureau on the Abuja-Kaduna train accident, which also highlighted the worsening state of railway facilities across key corridors. The NRC called for stronger community vigilance and collaborations with security agencies to curb vandalism and safeguard the nation's real assets. Gentlemen, this is where we are, and this is where we are finding ourselves. First, on this particular project, the Lagos Ibadan train construction, that was during the Buhari era, we had a whole lot of issues on that particular construction. The construction amount, which was borrowed, was not specific. We had 2.5 billion borrowed, we had 2.28 billion, we had 1 point. At the end of the day, at the point of commissioning, we were told that that project cost us 1.5 billion. We still don't have that specific dollars. Apologies. We still don't have that. Now we are looking at this humongous infrastructure. And again, we are now seeing issues of vandalization. Please, who should we hold responsible? First for security, then maintenance, then for the vandalism itself.
All right, let's take this one by one. Vandalism, it's not just in the rail sector, it's in the oil and gas, it's in telecoms, it's everywhere. So it's not just peculiar to railway. Vandalism is everywhere. What are the penalties? How are we monitoring it? So in as much as looking who to blame, let's focus on what's the problem and let's try and find a solution. Who's to blame? Are we going to blame the Nigerian Railway Corporation? Maybe for lack of proper maintenance? Well, usually they should have installed sensors, monitors, CCTVs, even flight drones and all that. But you said we even borrowed money to get this thing up and running. And I don't know how far we've been able to pay back this loan. And I'm a good supporter. I'm a supporter of the railway because I believe it supports commerce, it supports the logistic business, it's safety, it's every other thing. So in as much as we want to look at who to blame, let's forget about that. Because if we decide to look at who to blame, the NSIB came out with a report, Nigerian Railway came out with a report, which was quite a bit different from each other. Now, so if we decide to start pointing, accusing fingers, let's not go that route.
Who should we hold responsible?
Who should we hold responsible?
Yes.
Ourselves.
Okay.
Because it's human beings. It's not the government this time around that is vandalizing these rail tracks. It's ourselves. It's people, unscrupulous people of the underworld or whoever. And why I say ourselves is because no one would go to a rail track and remove something without the communities. Where do they pass? When they remove these tracks, where do they pass? Do they put it on their head? Do they drive? So that's why I said ourselves. It's a collective blame. It's not just one particular. Let's not just blame the criminals or whoever are doing this. It's ourselves. It's human beings. Why would someone think of going to a rail track to steal it? Because he believes if he sells it at a very cheap amount, he will make something for himself. But what is in his mind? He just wants to make little money. So who do we blame? It's ourselves. Because we have, together, we have let this thing escalate to this point.
Okay, Priya, let me come to you specifically now. Now, the Railway Corporation is telling us that a lot of this vandalism and stealing of critical assets, not just the rail lines or the boat or the screws, a lot of the navigation equipment and some security equipment is happening between Apapa and Agbado. This is not in the interior part, or it's not within the villages or remote areas. It's right in the heart of the city.
Okay, first of all, $1.5 billion.
At commissioning, what was told?
At commissioning. And we must understand the significance of this national asset, national critical asset infrastructure. The benefit of it, is immense beyond even what Olumide had alluded to or referenced. The fact that vandalism is taking place, it's obvious that we are vulnerable because it's a direct tax on the economy. Now, in the United States and in China, there's a way that their national asset, most especially the critical rail assets, are protected. Signaling assets, there's a way they are protected. And first of all, in the United States, the Homeland Security Department works with other security agencies to protect these their rail system. In Chinese, they have the CTCS, the Train Security System. I'm trying to remember the full name of it. what do? They install perimeter fencing physically to this rail system and make it very, very very, very difficult for these criminals and vandals to access. That's number one. Number two, they need to also install CCTV cameras in this infrastructure. They look at, if in every 50 meters or 100 meters or a few miles, just the way they can calculate, they can install the CCTV cameras and have a strategic command center where this critical national asset is being monitored. If we do not do this, then we drive about $2 billion or $1.5 billion to invest in critical national asset like this without providing security measures to keep them in place. Then it's as if we're pouring water into basket. This is not the first time it's happening. From what we've seen is that what the rail system that happened, the rail accident rather, that happened recently in Abuja, between Kaduna and Abuja, they were insinuating, one party was saying, oh, there were vandals at work. The other party was saying, no, there's no vandals. And we know this back and forth, we cannot continue to defend ourselves with this back and forth. We just need to, do we have security systems in place? Do we have patrol guards? And if our railway tracks are going to be going through some places where people don't inhabit, then it will also take us back to the Forex Rangers security that has been proposed earlier, of which it has been said before that we used to have the Forex Rangers that watches and guards over the Nigerian or each state's forests. If we can have those, their jobs can be extended to even protecting the railway system that will pass through such places where the eyes cannot see, to consolidate the CCTV and technological equipment that we must have set in place to guard them. Because if not, I tell you, every 6 months, every 3 months, we're having accidents like this. And these vandals, they are not doing it because they are hungry. They are not doing it because there's no job. They are not doing it because they are starving. This is security, endangering the security and lives and the economy of the nation. And it's a direct target at the government and the people of Nigeria. Okay. So we must put this in check. We must be very, very decisive, as if we are fighting the battle of terrorism.
Okay, fighting battle of terrorism. Okay.
I'd like to add to that. You said CCTV. I would say launch a community-based vigilante. You've always preached ownership, and I think this is where ownership comes in. You can't just walk into a market to steal something. They would lynch you, because why? People have investment. They see it as their own, so they protect it. Even when trucks go into various markets or places to demolish, they can't go there without people putting up a fight. That sense of ownership. So we need to develop some form of community-based vigilantes to protect these national assets. That's one way to go. And also maybe harsher penalties for these vandals.
Okay. Ameen, I'm coming to you now, and we want to hear you speak. What do you think we can do differently to stop this kind of events occurring and just stop this kind of stories?
While I agree with the ideas of the two gentlemen there, they were very, very spot on. I would like to add that we are very, very soft on crime in Nigeria. We are very, very soft on crime in Nigeria. Beyond just the railway assets, manholes all over the place are taken and sold as scrap metals. And if we are serious as a people, these assets are not sold in the black markets. They are sold in open markets. For example, in Lagos, there is a scrap market, Owode Onirin. When you go there, you see all of these things. Let's prosecute all the entire value chain, from the people that are stealing it, to the middlemen, to the people that are selling it, and the people that are buying it. Because even when you are buying, you know that you are buying a government asset from and illegal, from people that stole it. Let's prosecute it. And any crime that is committed that will lead to the death, loss of life of hundreds of people is an act of terrorism. Let's call a spade a spade. If there are going to be terrorist attack, it won't kill more than 100, 200 people, which is about an average passenger of a train coach. So let's treat these people like terrorists. And we like to paint everything with the brush of poverty. People are hungry. In Lagos, for example, we have a problem of flooding, and plastic waste is a major cause of this problem. People that are selling national asset as scrap metal, let them go into recycling and sell and clear our waterways of the plastic waste and make money off of it. Our whole ocean is filled with plastic waste. They can go there and pick up this plastic and convert it to money if they are truly hungry and if it's poverty. But we need to prosecute. If we start prosecuting, this crime is going to reduce by about 80% when people know that there is real punishment and we treat them like terrorists that they are. Because the other day in Kaduna, only God knows the official, the real figure of the people that died in the when the train went off track. And this is going to happen again if care is not taken. So, and yeah, while monitoring is important, we need to start prosecuting too. Thank you.
Let's now put our satellite on the Nigeria Railway Corporation itself. Some months back, okay, let's go on a very short break. When we return, we'll continue this same conversation. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. Sincere apologies for that. Just some technical issues we needed to deal with, and we have dealt with it. Now, we're still talking about this issue of vandalism, and it's okay. Now, let's point our satellite on the Railway Corporation. Just some few months ago, somewhere in the north, new coaches that were brought in to aid train services were taken away from the train station. And thanks to some security and some policemen, they were stopped because they've been loaded on trailer beds and were already on the way out. And nobody could account for who signed, who took, and where it was going to. I mean, I'm coming back to you on this now. At this point in time, you said something about we taking punitive measures and taking it serious. Who should be fired first, and who should be arrested?
The head of the station needs to be fired. Like I said, we are very, very soft on crime, and people don't take responsibility enough. People hold offices, and grave things will happen under their watch, under their responsibility, and nobody loses their job, nobody flinch, and we act like um, is a normal day. So we need to be tougher on crime. We need our leaders and people in position to be more accountable and more responsible. And this issue of national asset vandalism is something that has lingered for too long, like I said, manholes that can somersault a car on the road are removed like it's nothing, and we just move on, and they just say, oh, stop using metals, let's start using concrete. Like, who does that? In Lagos, all the bridge guard rails are gone everywhere. They are gone. Now we are building them with concrete. They are more expensive and not as good as the metal rail guards. So we just keep, giving these criminals so much latitude. Let's start prosecuting. Like I said, they are not sold in the black market. They are sold in open market. Everybody in Lagos know what they're nearing, and we all know what they trade there. When you go there, you even see some of these metals with the engravement on it that say NRC, which is Nigerian Railway, or NRS, Nigerian Railway Service. So you know this belongs to the government. Most of the government asset, the manhole, everything, it has the emblem of the government on it. It can't be removed. It's written. That's the way it's made, because it's specifically made for the government. So you can see and you can know that that is not a government office. So let's prosecute the whole value chain. The people that are, like I said, the people that are stealing it, the middlemen, the people that are selling, and the people that are buying. So if there's no market for it, it's going to stop. But while monitoring is very, very important, let's end the business. And
Okay, let's
if
end the
it's for
business.
Let's end the business.
Okay, I am 100% with you. Let's end the business, because if we need to grow, then we need to be deliberate about it. Now, let's talk about ending crime and get into more positive news. Now, this has to do with the economy and BOI and NYSC members. The Bank of Industry, BOI, has launched a 2 billion, I said again, 2 billion entrepreneurship program for members of the National Youth Service Corps, aimed at tackling unemployment and supporting youth-led enterprises across Nigeria. BOI Managing Director Dr. Oluwasope Olusi announced the initiative, tagged the BOI NYSC Entrepreneurship Program. During its launch in Abuja, he said the scheme will allow 7 corps members to access loans up to 5 million naira each at a single-digit interest rate of 9% per annum. Olusi explained that the initiative is part of BOI's broader strategy to promote innovation, job creation, and economic growth among young Nigerians. He added that beneficiaries will also receive business training and mentorship to improve the success rate of funded ventures, positioning youth entrepreneurship as a key driver of Nigeria's long-term economic diversification. Now, I'll get to ask the question, why was this program not there when I served? It's all good. For a very long time, gentlemen on this table, for a very long time, we have looked away from the teeming number of graduating youth that hit the NYSC camp, both pre and post-graduation. A lot of ideas, a lot of possibilities we've let rot because they could not access needed funds to bring their ideas or their business to life.
True.
Now we are having this, no matter how long, they say when one wakes up, it's his morning. Now we are having this. Do we see this initiative as coming at the right time? And is it something that is going to reduce the amount of people getting to the job market at every passing out parade of NYSC?
It's a good initiative. It's actually good. It's a way of reducing the number of unemployed graduates so that some can go into entrepreneurship, some can, if they want to further study or do any other thing, it's a good, welcome idea. But then again, it's about up to 5 million naira.
Yes,
right?
5 million, yes. At 9% interest rate.
So what is the possibility that you will be able to pay back that money, given the fact that you get a job, now, we still have NEL fund that we're still asking that, what is the possibility that you will get a job after service? Now, you're even given a loan during service.
Now, hope you know the loan is not for everybody.
Yes, it's not for everybody. Yes. So what is that possibility? Do we have a viable economic ground that entrepreneurs can thrive?
There is training added to it.
I remember Priya and I interviewed one entrepreneur who said he got some form of grant while in the University of Lagos. Yeah. Shout out to the University of Lagos. He got a grant of, I think, about 1 million or 2 million. But there was a criteria. You must have something on ground. So that's where I'm going to. It's not just giving out this loan to someone who hasn't figured out where he wants to go.
A greenhorn.
Or who is one. Because sometimes at that stage, you are just thinking, okay, what am I going to do? Some might even deviate. A lot of students get into the university studying courses they don't necessarily want to do. Maybe because their dad wanted them to become a lawyer, so they are thinking, okay, when I'm done. So what are the criteria? So that is where we need to come in. What criteria?
Okay.
Who and who should be eligible to get this loan?
Okay.
9% interest rate, beautiful. What's the duration? 2 years, 3 years, 4 years? You have to look also. Then loan defaulters. That's how we came about this loan sharks and all that. Let's face it, people were defaulting in their loans. That's why the whole thing became prominent. So how do we pay and how do we address people who default on their loans? What is going to be done to them? Then transparency. That is one of the things I always advocate for, transparency. In setting up a criteria, let it be transparent. Post the list of people who are going to be benefiting from this loan. Let us all see it. Let's have a report, track record. That is how we can ensure transparency.
Okay, Priya, let me come to you.
Yeah. Okay. So, first of all, it's a good thing that we're having the government. Let me not even bring in the government to it. Let me bring in the Bank of Industry.
It's still the government.
Yes, it's still the government. Is rethinking reform. I want to say it is churning out ideas and initiatives to consolidate the economic reforms of government. And in its own contributing its own quota to consolidate the government effort, it is not what we look at with a political eye. Because this is it's a bank of industry. It has data with regards to the number of employed or unemployed, and the sort of skills, the sort of ideas, the sort of business and entrepreneurial skills that students from universities must have demonstrated or showcased as to be outlined in the guidelines for those and the criteria for those who are qualified for the 5 million naira loan for a single-digit profit. Interest. So if they are doing that and they are bringing mentorship into it, they are providing job creators and decongesting the employed, well, I call it the labor force of people who can stand on their own. So one other thing that we will need to pay attention is, what are those specific guidelines that make people qualify for this?
Okay.
Because one thing that we have, most of the time overlooked, just the way the banks will be asking for collateral. The normal conventional banks, the microfinance banks are asking for collaterals and to make sure that they want to make, so people are able to pay back their money. What they are looking at is, all right, they've bypassed that stage. Are they going to hold them from paying back? I think their BVNs, their, what's it called? Another vital document, I want to say, will serve as collateral. Not that they are going to withhold it from them, but as a way that, look, this is the government, we can access your data anywhere, even if you leave this country without paying back, and we can make you pay back. But if you look at the people, what have you done so far? Was it in the 1 year or the 9 months that you were spending in the NYSC that enabled you to discover that entrepreneurial part of you? Or was it when you were spending 4 or 5 years in the university? Have you been doing something? And as a student that has been involved in business while you were in school, are you taking the initiative to register it? All these are criteria that should be looked at so that, and what you have done, if it is to an extent documented, to provide a ground for the Bank of Industry to advance that credit to the student, it will be a very, very fantastic idea, and also to close the gaps of people making away with the loans, because I know Olumide is after the student must pay back those loans. Yes, it is good, but I think we should also, on the other aspect, we must look beyond that. Providing mentorship in the sense that, well, are you just going to give them money to go? Are you going to take them to places like to be co-mentored? Is the Bank of Industry liaising with institutions like the Lagos Business School, with the Tony Elumelu Foundation, and with other business-affiliated agencies and institutions, whether public or private, to be able to enhance and nurture these skills that has been, showcased at that level of entrepreneurship, at the level of NYSC? Because if we are consistent with this sort of policy, I tell you, we may not see the benefit in the next 5 years. The benefit might be meager. We may not see the benefit of the next 10 years, in the next 20 years. But I tell you, in the next 50 years, Nigeria, or the Bank of Industry, must have built more millionaires and more job creators than just people who get into university, come out, and they are waiting for employment.
I would also suggest that training and mentorship should start right in the camp. Camp is 3 weeks, right? Start it in the camp. Let's have something like whereby students, entrepreneurs bid. It's among themselves. It's right in their camp. One entrepreneurship stands in front of the people. Tell us what you've done. Give us track records. It's your fellow students who will be the judge of what you are doing. And they will be a better judge to say, okay, yes, this person has done well. Let's give him that.
Pitching. If the fellow students they can't be judged, they will politicize it.
Okay. Now we are seeing possibilities, and Priye said we won't see results in 10 years. We will see results in 5 years. It's just the rate of failure, the bank will also be able to monitor that, and rate of success, they will be able to monitor that, and fashion out better ways of getting people that...
I'm talking about the cumulative of building millionaires in 20, 25, 30
They are millionaires
years.
already. We should be talking of billionaires because you are giving them a loan.
Oh, they are not millionaires. That's a loan. It's not their money. It's a loan.
It's the business money.
It's the business's money. So their entity, the business is a different entity. Yeah, so they are a different entity as well.
Thank you very much. Now, Mukhtar, I want to have your take on this before we go to our next story. Now, the Bank of Industry and the money they are trying to advance to entrepreneurs currently serving. How best should we move forward on this, and how long should this continue?
This is a very beautiful idea. This is what we need. We need job creators. However, 5 million naira loan at 9% is still that interest rate is still high for new businesses, especially for people who don't have experience. So I don't know if there's a way they can pause the interest rate for like a year or two before it kicks in, for them to, germinate and ruminate on their ideas and see how it goes. And to be honest, if I'm going to be blunt, I'll say this kind of loan should only be given to people that have a proof of concept, meaning somebody that is already doing something and can show that, okay, this is what I've been doing. And this is not far-fetched. A lot of the entrepreneurs will tell you that they started their business in university, even before they graduated. So if there are people that have been doing things on campus and is documented, this is another way to get our young people to register their company under the government, so that, if I know that if I register my company and I have some form of data, I can get some grants in the NYC, and eventually I can start paying taxes too when I make money. So for people that are very green, that are very new to business, I would suggest the government should just give them grants. It does not have to be 5 million. It can be 1 million or 2. That is just grants, free money to go and experiment with. But people that have a proof of concept, they can give them 5 million, 10 million, 20 million at a lower interest rate, because they are just coming into the business for them to survive, because business is not easy. 9% is still very, very high for, people that are relatively new in business.
Okay, thank you very much, Mukhtar.
I also wanted to ask, because I've been doing a bit of brain racking. Mm-hmm. So when will the commencement of the loan be? Because usually...
Of repayment?
Okay. Yes, of repayment. Because usually after camp, you're supposed to be posted to your place of primary assignment, where you're supposed to be focused at your assignment, probably in a school teaching for the medical students, in a primary health center. So when would that afford you the time to do your personal business? So when will is it after NYSC program?
Okay. Post-NYSC?
Post-NYSC. Okay. And we have to be very careful. Otherwise, we'll have creditors running after debtors all over the place. And, well, it's a whole lot.
Now, these are issues I think the Bank of Industry must also have thought out. And we'll get a lot on this particular information. This just broke from a few days back. So we'll get more information on this. If possible, speak with the MD of BOI, and we'll get back to you, because we need to see things happen. Let's tell you what's happening across the borders, within our borders, and it has to do with safety. Custom, they have come out to tell us directly. Nigeria Customs Service has dismantled a major trans-border smuggling syndicate operating along the Seme Border axis of Lagos State. The group has reportedly involved in trafficking expired rice, flour, vehicle, and other banned products into the country before being intercepted by officers of the Seme Command. Goods valued at over 1 billion naira were recovered during the operation. Speaking while displaying the seized items to journalists, the area controller of Seme Command, Controller Wale Adenuga, said the breakthrough followed weeks of intelligence gathering and surveillance. He added that the smugglers attempted to evade arrest but were overpowered by custom operatives. Adenuga commended his officers for their dedication and warned smugglers to desist from illegal trade. He reaffirmed the NCS commitment to protecting Nigeria's borders and ensuring that only safe and authorized goods are allowed into the country. $1 billion worth of seized goods.
Which would manifest into probably trillions of...
These are the ones that were seized. These are the ones that were seized. Now, let's also look at the customs. Yes, good. Thank you very much for the good work. Now, to this particular people, the syndicate that are operating here, what should be done? Because most likely, those that will be caught are the foot soldiers. There are people on top that give directions. These are people's businesses. How do we track from this foot soldier to the men on top?
Smuggling is not just something we're experiencing today. It has been quite a while. There was a time a plane was loaded with ammunitions and the story broke, and I don't know where the investigation led, which is the question you're asking. How do we get the big fish? How do we leave the fish, small fish and go after the big fish? Most of the time when this news break, it breaks probably for some sensational or probably to just let the people be aware that, okay, this is what we are doing. But we don't get to the nitty-gritty of this investigation because there's someone sitting somewhere who is pumping money into this business. And if this business is not moving well, they will be pumping as much as 1 billion into it. So I believe that the investigation should not just stop from here. It should continue. We need to get to the real people. Who are these people? The NCS, the Nigeria Customs Service, need to invest in tech tools. They need to have CCTVs, drones. They need to invest in a whole lot because I remember from our late President Muhammad Buhari said, I mean, we can't man all our borders, but that is where technology comes in. CCTVs, drones, interagency cooperation, partner with neighboring countries, set up some sort of a community intelligence network. These smugglers, they have their roots. They move in between communities, and community dwellers see them. So you have to partner with them. Also, I would also advise that you find some sort of incentive for these custom agents. I'm not saying they are colluding, but give them some incentive because what they are doing is actually risky business. It's not something, because these smugglers, they know they are going to encounter some form of resistance, so they come well prepared. So these custom agents also have to be well prepared to protect themselves too. So these are some of the things that I feel that we can actually, do.
Okay. Now, there's a line in your statement that you made that the ex-president said we can't man on our borders. In quote. We will completely disagree on that.
Okay. Because there are some borders that is just a gutter.
Your job is to protect the sovereignty of our nation. So you can't come and tell us you don't know how to do your job. No. Like, no. Now, how do we get to the big fish, like he said? Okay. Not just the foot soldiers or the seized goods.
All right. Most of our processes needs to be digitized. And it's a normal thing for custom officers who are normally stationed in the borders, either in Seme Border, Badagry, Cameroon, Bekasi area. It's a normal thing for them to be stationed to carry out routine checks of vehicles, to search for items that have been, tagged as contraband by the Nigerian government, and from moving them out or from bringing them into the country. Now the thing is, first of all, good job, great job, 1 billion naira and the worth of goods, and they caught these people. They can get to the heads of the main masterminds. They can. At least if you are trying to figure out information from those who actually masterminded this process, if you're using a civil manner does not get you, if using a very civil manner
extract
by way of, to extract information, it does not do the magic, does not do the job. At least there are regulatory procedures. There are other regulatory procedures that governs the custom and the armed forces that, will tell you other measures to be deployed. That's why I say they know how to do that, and they can get out this information. But the thing is, when you get out this information, and you find out that this person belongs to this political party, or this person belongs to that political party, or this person is a cousin of one senator, or one commissioner, or one governor, or one government official somewhere, are you still going to go on?
Okay. Are you still going to go on?
Yes, are you still going to carry on?
Are you still going to pursue that case?
Not just pursue the case, to allow the law to take its effect. Are you still going to do that? And in the case where you, as a custom officer or a Nigerian police officer, want to continue to handle such cases, when you are being resisted or fought back, either within the customs service through the instrument of your superior, or from government quarters, maybe you are the superior, maybe the Adewale Adenuga himself is taking this case up, and he meets a resistance up there that is so well politically connected, or politically exposed persons are intervening in the process. Are there other means that are completely devoid of the intervention or the influence of these political heavyweights that the custom officer can go through to make sure that the law take its course?
I think
those are great questions for us to answer. And the other thing is this. Sometimes some of these people can meet the customs officers and they can be handed over a juicy bribe envelope that way supersedes their monthly earnings. And it takes a whole lot for these officers to reject that.
It shouldn't. It shouldn't.
To reject the envelope.
It's all about integrity.
It's all about, yes, of course they should reject it. But if they are going to reject it, they have to know what they are preventing and fighting against. They have to be aware and be enlightened and be educated that, look, it does not really based on your salary. Yes, we are paying you, and the government will do its best to review the process to increase the salary and to provide other necessary perks that come. But we want you to know that if you stop this, you are actually saving the local industries a lot. If you stop this, you are preventing people from dying unnecessarily, from feasting on contaminated product. If you stop this package from moving into your country or getting out of your country, you are inadvertently saving 100 lives. They need to be educated. They need to be orientated all the time, to the extent that it will dawn on them, because these are national values that shouldn't be only taught in the civil service. No, the civil service have their own baggage too, but it shouldn't be only taught in the civil service. But these custom officers and the Nigerian security agents, they need to be taught all the time. 6 months, 9 months, 3 months, officers and men on ground need to be taught so that it will dawn on them. Because if it is a lost generation that, these are not the kind of principles we can successfully sow into the mind and into the make or the psyche of these people, there's a new generation of Nigerians that are being, employed, indoctrinated into the service. We need to put this in there that, look, you flinch, your countrymen die.
Okay. Why we try to avoid... Okay,
yes.
Add to that.
Like I said, man the borders, bring in technology, scanners, scan everything.
What about fencing?
Fencing with CCTVs, with scanners.
Okay. Mukhtar, I'm coming to you now, and we really are very concerned about the big fish. These foot soldiers that are arrested are the ones that cross the border, try to do the smuggling, the drivers, the protectors, the henchmen. But the real people that are really paying for these things and organizing this business, we don't ever get to hear or see them. How do we arrest them?
It's very, very simple to arrest him. We just follow the money. Just follow the money. Simple. Just follow the money. Very, very simple. There's an investigative journalist in this country that went to Seme Border and pretended to be a smuggler. He approached the custom officers and he spoke to the border villagers. You know, the documentary is on YouTube, is on everywhere. He made headline, but that was the end of it. Names were mentioned in that documentary. Is a very, 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 very enlightening documentary. You know, nothing was done. So we are not ready. And you see, our illegal smuggling has a parallel line to our bad economy, unemployment, and insecurity, because most of the harms that are used in kidnapping, in banditry, in terrorism are crossed through the border illegally. Beyond that, all our industries are killed because of goods coming in through the border. Goods that are coming in that are not, there is no custom duties on them, because these custom duties, beyond just generating revenue for the government, they are meant to protect our local industry so that the imported goods are not too cheaper than what we are producing. So if for example, if we have a strong border, you see how many industries that are going to spring up. You see how many investors that are going to come into this country to produce those goods that we depend on, the smuggled ones. So we need to take it serious. We need to do sensitization, talk to these custom officers, how what they are doing affects the life of them and their family. Apart from endangering their lives, their kids, they are struggling for jobs. It's lack of industries. Lack of industries is because we import everything, and a lot of things come in through the border.
Okay,
So,
thank you very
serious.
much, Mukhtar.
We just follow the money.
Okay, Mukhtar is directly giving us solutions that are well doable. But it's the doing right now that is the issue. Follow the money.
I don't think if you follow the money, that's when you know that this specific money is gotten from this illicit transaction.
Where is the money going to?
Where is the money going to? So the thing is, because how can you dictate that this is the money that was gotten from the sale of this?
You can't.
No, choose. I am not saying this in the void.
Okay.
Now, I think it is better if you follow the product.
If you follow the
Okay,
product,
so if you follow the product will go to a destination. The product will go to a destination. So I think if you get, the owner is not going to be there, but you follow the product to the latter. Because if you are to follow the money, most of the times these goods are traded in black markets. And when they are traded in black markets, they use a different unconventional, or let's say means that we have turned conventional, either through bank apps or through the cryptocurrency, the digital asset and money for us to transact in these businesses. So you want to know, okay, if 3 billion naira is being transacted from a certain quarter, for what was sold? What was sold? Is it contraband? Is it from ammunition? What is exactly sold before that money was made? So it becomes a real long process. But I think if you follow the product because you want to expand the dragnet of not just getting the hand or getting the people who are moving those products, but the destination, because most of the time the destination itself will tell you this property, where the products got to, who owned the property. Now the property owner himself is now involved, because now, so if the property was leased out, who paid for the leasing?
Now you are
who paid for the leasing?
Now you are arresting a lot of people that are involved.
Yes.
Beautiful. But
that can get you to
the shark itself.
Yes.
Follow the money.
Follow the money, but you need to know the source of the money first before you know that was the money for the transaction of illicit business.
There is no money as long as it's getting to the system. If the government wants to follow it, there is no money in the countries.
Okay.
Even when it comes to cryptocurrencies. If they want to do the right thing. Now let's get to the next story. The table is very vibrant and they are very passionate because we need to stop
this non-government business that is affecting all of us. Now let's see what's happening in agriculture. Now there is a particular growth that we have to talk about. Bank lending to Nigeria's agricultural sector has increased to 5.33% of total credit as of May 2025. According to the Nigerian incentive-based risk-sharing system of agricultural lending, the rise marks a reversal of the multi-year decline that had constrained growth and investment in agribusiness. This improvement comes after agriculture's share of bank lending dropped steadily from 6.18 in 2022 to 4.82 in 2024, a period marked by economic headwinds, security challenges, and banks' growing risk aversion. The new figure suggests a cautious return of financial institutions to the sector. Analysts attribute the rebound to government-backed credit guarantees and renewed confidence in policy reforms aimed at de-risking agricultural finance. Okay, let's come to this table right now. We've always been we are always advocates of better agriculture working, and the real farmer getting paid for the services he's doing, being able to sell his product outside the middleman, yes, and access to finance. Now we are having reports and data to support that. Okay, good, we've had more lending into this particular sector. We are almost at the end of the rainy season. As we speak right now, a lot of locations don't have that irrigated farming. Are we bound to see a result of better investment in agriculture?
Well, this is actually it's a positive signal in Nigeria's economy. I mean, of course, it can indicate renewed investors' confidence. But until we take care of risk mitigation, infrastructure, the roads, storage, these are some of the things we need to also take care of. It's good that, yes, farmers have access to these loans and they've been going after it, but how are they actually accessing these loans? There are a lot of things we need to look at. I mean, financial literacy and, of course, digital inclusion is there. Then security. We can talk about farming, but insecurity is there. There's clashes, farmer-header clashes. How do we take care of all these things? These are some of the things we need to look at. I was interviewing someone yesterday on, Just Africa, and he kept on mentioning insecurity. And this had to even do with telecoms, but he kept on mentioning insecurity. So it tells you that it's a whole lot. Our new reality is that farmers are paying some certain people money to do business, to farm in their land. So,
in some locations,
not all. Now, you said the rainy season is about to end, but that is where technology and a whole lot of things comes in. You do not actually need to wait for the rain to farm and harvest. Okay. It's just planning.
It's just definitely planning. Okay, now we have short time and more stories to talk about. Create 3 sentences.
3 sentences? I wish I can do that. 2.5. Okay. So the thing is, fine. They are de-risking. I like the fact that government is coming in, and the reason why it has increased from 4.8% to 5.33% is because most of these loans are now being de-risked, government-backed loans and access to credit. And I expect to see that. And if recently we've been experiencing some marginal increase in non-oil export, most of them are coming from the agricultural sector. And in the role of Africa, agriculture is the provider of more jobs. So we really need to pay more focus and attention there. And the reason why we are seeing the increase in these loans is because there's access to market. There's access to credit, there's access to market, and investment in this specific industry is never a loss if most of the insecurity issues that Olumide had referenced are taken care of. That's what I'm going to say.
Okay. Yes, Mukhtar, let's get to you right now. Now we are looking at a situation where we say, okay, farmers, you have access to credit now, unlike what used to be before, that people would just form a forum, form an organization and collect monies and call themselves farmers, and they won't farm and they won't even pay back the loans. We saw that with the Rice Initiative some years back. What should we be expecting? Are we expecting more products in our market now, cheaper agricultural products?
We should expect more products, and we should, most importantly, expect a rise in the population of farmers. So with this access to loan, a lot of people will go into farming because even it's enshrined in our constitution, the only second job civil servants can take is farming. So we should expect more people. I grew up in the, even though I'm in my 30s, I grew up in the Nigeria where everybody, almost everybody have a form of small farm they go to during the weekend. So we need more farmers. We definitely need more farmers to feed ourselves and to export to generate revenue.
Okay, thank you very much. We'll go on a very short break. When we return, Souk Business Landscape will be right back. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. We're still here on SBL, Souk Business Landscape. Remember, join us in this conversation, follow us, and we will follow you. It's Souk News Television on all platforms. Just go out there, click on follow and share. Tell your neighbor, your friends, your co-workers to share, to follow. Let's get communicating. Now, for those that are wondering, some days back, about 7 days plus, we had this particular notice serving and demolition that happened at the Lagos State Trade Fair Complex. A lot of come, go, a lot of ups, downs, a lot of for, against, a lot of words have been traded on that particular issue. Now, the Lagos State government has issued a 2-week ultimatum to developers and occupants of the unapproved buildings at the Trade Fair Complex. Welcome back. Now, the Lagos State government has issued a 2-week ultimatum to developers and occupants of unapproved buildings at the Trade Fair Complex to regularize their structures. Authorities warned that failure to comply within the given time frame will result in strict enforcement actions. This directive aims to address the challenges posed by unauthorized construction which undermine urban planning and safety regulations in the state. The government emphasized the importance of adhering to building codes to ensure sustainability, development, and public safety. Officials urged property owners to take advantage of this window to legalize their buildings through the appropriate channels. The move reflects Lagos State's commitment to orderly development and the enforcement of existing regulations to enhance and get the city's infrastructure and living standards regularized. Okay, now, for those that are not aware of the issues that have transpired, the Trade Fair Complex, which happened to be a federal government property, had buildings on them, and issues arose, and the state government had to go in and started some form of demolition. They actually did demolish some buildings, or encroached and did some demolition. Now, parties came up and said, no, this particular premises, the structure, this land belongs to the federal government, and anything that's happening here should go through the Trade Fair Board. So they'll be going up and down, and several people, several parties have commented on this. Now, people are saying is, okay, now, on this particular table, let's talk business as it affects business, property, and money. Dear Olumide, do you think the demolition of Lagos State would have had a better face than outright demolition?
I think 2 weeks ultimatum is quite small. The Trade Fair Complex is supposed to be a money-making machine. It's supposed to be a major revenue generation for, okay, it's owned by the federal government, so revenue generation should go to the federal government. So it should be seen as a place whereby...
But there's no way that you'll be there and you'll pay tax to the state.
Definitely. So to go to both the state and the federal government. So it's supposed to be, now, that's what you call creating a viable economic ground for people to thrive. People bring their businesses, showcase their businesses, to customers, prospective customers, and they come and buy into the idea, and they make payments. They get something for themselves. They pay their taxes. Revenue is being shared equally. Everybody's happy. So now, but when you now say you want to come and demolish a particular structure, first of all, billions, let me be modest, millions was invested into that infrastructure, into that building, into whatever it was. It's an investment of its own, apart from what you are selling, has been invested into that. That person has to now factor, if it's not gotten through loan or probably cooperative or whatever, or maybe one uncle borrowed him money somewhere. He has to factor in how he's going to recuperate that money invested into that building and how he's going to move that particular business probably out of there or restructure another one. That is an economic loss for that person. So that's why I said 2 weeks is not even enough for that person to even think of the loss he's going to come through. I believe that there should have been some sort of campaign, TV announcement, a whole lot of things. Liaise with them. There's a board. Bring all of them together. They even need to know why this and this. Also, no building will go up without them knowing. Let's all be frank about this. No building goes up without them knowing. So what happened when the building was still being constructed? Is that it's a whole lot of things, and I don't want to go into without stepping
no politics in it. Let's talk business.
It's going to
and
affect,
real and common sense.
Yes, it's going to affect a lot of people's business because I can't imagine how someone will feel, someone who has invested a whole lot into a particular business, and you're not telling him, oh, that building is going down. He has to now factor how he's going to move that, whatever product, whatever he's selling out of that building, wait for them to come and demolish it, probably go ahead and do it himself, and now have to look for money. That is even as money on ground. And that is where insurance comes in. That is why you need to insure these businesses.
For those that are still sleeping on this, the insurance company is growing and it's going to be a gold mine. So hey, don't sleep on this. Priya, I'm coming to you. Now, well, let's follow the law when it has to do with building. If you build illegally, if you build without permits, if you build outside the state approval, completely outside the state approval, and it's illegal, and the state says, okay, this building is illegal. You've built wrongly, and you've committed a crime because that's what it is. If that building needs to be demolished, you have to pay for that demolition, not the state, not my tax money, not your tax money. Now, we've seen a case whereby this happened. Do you think that this demolition, somebody should answer for it?
Okay, yes, someone should answer for it, but I'm glad that at least the government came out and said, look, you built without permission, you built illegally, you are, in fact, jeopardizing the life of the people who are doing business there and who are coming there to patronize these markets.
So that is you are talking, the government is saying.
Yes.
Those that do say we didn't do that.
They cannot say they didn't do that. Who did they meet? Did they go to the building regulatory authorities in Lagos State?
They are saying that we have a board here we answer to.
They have a board?
Yes.
And can you have parallel laws rolling?
Just now that we are not going into the politics of it.
I'm not even talking about politics. That's like having a parallel board. How can you set up building knowing that there's a building authority in Lagos State, and even if it's with the federal government, and you erected your own building, you went through the back door to erect your own building. The authorities are coming to tell you that this trade complex area is a high density area where you have lots of people coming there to buy and to sell.
Okay.
Illegally erecting structures endangers your life, endangers the life of the people around, and endangers the business environment.
Okay.
So if you have done that and the government is lenient to say, look, we are giving you 2 weeks to regularize.
Around the 2 weeks.
To legitimize.
Before the 2 weeks, bulldozers, tractors went into that place. And some buildings were touched. Should that have been where to start? Should they not have
Okay, in other words, you are saying that the government took down some buildings without giving prior notice.
Definitely, there must have been notice somehow.
If there are notices that have been advanced by the government
why
to those who
want to spend government money to bring down those buildings? Why did they pay for those buildings to be brought down?
Or probably after the buildings have been brought down, then they are going to hold those people responsible to pay for the building, to pay for the demolition. Okay. Because this is very, very important. In fact, you are truncating the economic master plan of the state.
Are you sure?
Of course.
Okay. Now, hold on. Let's go to Mukhtar. Mukhtar, I hope you are still here.
I'm here.
Good. We've had a whole lot of ups and downs, and now government is saying, hey, come and regularize. Olumide is of the opinion that 2 weeks is not going to be enough for that to happen, that they will need more time to get it done. And we are here talking business. Business both on the government side, business both on the trade fair side, business based also on the businessmen on ground side. What do you think should be the solution to all this issue as a businessman?
Yeah, I would like to point out. That the 2 weeks is an extension.
Okay.
There was a notice before the demolition. So these 2 weeks is coming after intervention of some politicians, and this case is going to improve our jurisprudence because uh, there is there is a conflict between, is this federal government business, is this local government business, or is this state government business? The trade fair complex is built by the federal government for periodic sales season, like a trade fair. But the trade fair complex in Lagos has been turned to an everyday market. An everyday market is under the purview of local government. So that is one. And now they are building new structures. Building of new structures in any state is on the purview of the state government. And these structures that are being brought down are structures that are built where they are not meant to be. I saw the documentary with the Commissioner for Urban Planning. Some of the buildings were built on the road, like literally, like when you open the shops, you are opening to the road, which can cause accident. Some of these buildings were built on the waterways. So, and this puts the lives and property of other people in danger, because if that place is flooded, nobody gets to use the markets. Lives may be lost. Properties of people that have done things through the right way will be done. And every time we talk about money being invested, what happens to due diligence? If I'm a businessman and I'm a patriotic citizen of my country, I should follow all the right things to do when I want to erect anything or invest any money. So what happens to due diligence? So if I have skipped the due diligence that I'm supposed to do before I invest my money in something, then if it's been demolished, there's nothing wrong about it. And in this country, there is a law that says if you have all the right documents and all the right papers and approval in erecting any structure, you get compensation, you get full compensation. And we've seen that from federal government to state government to local government, because there's the provision in the constitution that says even if you have done something right, the government can still say, okay, for overriding public interest, this building needs to come down. But if you have done everything the right way, you get your real compensation at the present market value, and plus inconveniences. So this should not be a conversation. We just like to glamorize breaking the law. Breaking the law is breaking the law. Some of these things in other countries, people go to jail. They don't just lose their property, they go to jail for erecting properties, because we remember we've seen so many buildings come down and there are loss of lives of so many people. Nobody is held accountable, nobody is held responsible. These are the causes, because people just erect building without proper monitoring and approvals.
Okay, now let's still go back to where we started. Dear Lagos State, you can't be spending our tax money demolishing people's building. If they build illegally, it's their responsibility to pay for that demolition.
And
Please.
if they don't?
You said?
And if they don't?
Now, if they
go
don't,
forward.
no. Please, I don't know if I'm communicating well. Now, for everybody out there, remember that Lagos State we have a whole lot of waterways, and we have a whole lot of channels, and a lot of canals, and we need to follow the plan. And for every conflict, there's always means of conflict resolution. Let's always, please, for sake of both our safety and the business community, let's always follow means of conflict resolution. And let's not drag things into the era and area of politics. It's not always going to help. It's always been a pleasure being on this table with these gentlemen, knowing fully well that you are on the other side and you're part of this conversation. So, gentlemen, thank you very much for this beautiful Friday.
Thank you.
Mukhtar, it's always nice having you too. Thank you very much for staying awake and being part of SBL today.
Thank you very much. Enjoy your weekend.
Thank you very much. Now, to the crew that make this happen, guys, you're awesome. To the guys in MCR, the guys behind the camera, the editors, guys, you are awesome. Thank you very much. My name is Chooks, John Rogers Chooks, and we are heading into the Friday. Happy, remember your neighbor, remember your guys.
Please be nice to the next person. Call up somebody and know how they are doing. Have yourself a beautiful, beautiful weekend. Priya?
And I'm Oyin Priya Kromale. Good morning to you.
And I'm Olumide Shokoya. Please think Nigerian, be Nigerian. Let's all make progress. Let's all keep this country clean and safe. I'm Olumide.
Take Nigeria because it's the mind that needs to first of all be rebranded.
Idris said he's going to be putting Nigerian labor, Nigeria content and materials first.
If you say Nigeria first and it is just us down here that, you know, are pushing that agenda, it's going to be a big struggle.
Do you think Nigerian firms, Nigerian organizations should start looking at getting their staff involved in this market or buying to keep for their staff? Within this side, let's also learn citizen diplomacy. See something. This is Suk business landscape.